computer. All right. So today we're going to be doing a mat yoga class. I call it Easy Morning Flow. And we will be doing this for 60 minutes. And we will be using a block and a strap. So if you don't have a block and a strap, don't worry, you can do everything without them, but they are very helpful. And we're going to be starting on our backs with our knees up. All right. I'm going to have a little bit of a longish reading at the end. So you know, at the end, you can just rest and let the words sort of flow over you. And for now, get settled on your mat. And before you start to move, walk your feet out to the edges of your mat and then reposition your body so that you're directly in the center of your mat. And then walk your feet back into neutral. And neutral is where your heels are lined up to your hips. And then your arms can just rest out to the sides. We always start by grounding, getting ourselves connected and grounded, relaxed. Noticing all those physical connections between your feet and the floor, your back and the floor, backs of your arms, the back of your head. And just acknowledge that sensation of laying down on the floor. And when you feel yourself starting to settle, bring your attention to your breath. Just really feel your inhales. Feel your exhales. Sometimes getting settled takes a little longer. We're anxious. We want to start moving. Just take another couple breaths here. Everything will be okay. There's nothing perfect. We're all just on the journey. And our first movement today will be windshield wipers. So just let your legs start to move from side to side and move slowly and mindfully. Feeling how your hips feel and how your low back feels. And once you've found that boundary, that edge of comfort, start to bring your breath into this movement by inhaling as your legs come up and exhaling as your legs come down. Your arms are passive. Just let your legs do a little bit of work here. We're just warming up. The next time your legs come to the right side, let them stay there. And they don't need to touch the floor. And then slide your right hand underneath your right thigh. And as you inhale, lift your legs up. And then exhale, to the left, and pause. And we're holding for about 3 breaths, 3 or 4. And then slide your left hand underneath your left thigh. And as you inhale, lift your legs up and settle back in neutral. You may need to readjust your back, lining your heels up with your hips again. And then bring your right knee up toward your chest and just hold on wherever it's comfortable. So this is a good time to use your strap. If you prefer, you can wrap your strap around the back of your right thigh and use the strap to help you bring that leg closer to your chest. We're not really pulling, we're just starting to stretch, just warming up. So with or without the strap, nice easy stretch here. One more breath. And when you're ready, release your right foot back down and bring your left leg, left knee up towards your chest. Again, with or without the strap. One more breath. And then release your left foot back down. If you're using the strap, go ahead and put it off to the side. Reposition your back again. And we're just going to slide our arms up overhead. So take your time. We're just starting to stretch our shoulders now. And just find a place where you can let the backs of your hands rest on the floor. You want to be comfortable. You want to feel a little stretch, a little bit of effort, but no discomfort. You feel your back start to arch. And then bring your palms together overhead. And as you inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, bring your hands down underneath your ribs and let them rest there for a few breaths. All right, so now we're going to get ready for bridge pose. And today we're going to start our bridge pose with our arms out in a T position. So we call this flowing bridge. So we will be changing our arm position with each bridge pose. Right now our arms are in a T position. So as we press into our feet, we lift our backs up off the floor, lift our arms up overhead. And then as we exhale, arms come down overhead on the floor as your back comes down. And then inhale, arms come up. Exhale back out to the T position as you come down to the floor. And just start to lift and lower your back at the same time that you're lifting and lowering your arms. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Next time your arms come down overhead and you're up in bridge pose, leave your arms down and leave your back up. So your arms are down on the floor and your back is up in bridge pose. Take a few breaths. This might feel like your first effort. And then on your next inhale, raise your arms up, bring your palms together. And as you exhale, lower your back down, bring your hands back down underneath your ribs and relax. And you can walk your feet out just a little so your legs can relax. Take a few breaths. All right. Now from this position, we're going to roll to one side and make our way up into a sitting position. With your legs crossed. Once you find yourself up, start to move side to side so that you feel your sitting bones. It's like you're really planting yourself here. This is your connection now, is in your sitting bones. Just take a minute and get your posture, get your equilibrium, find your breath. We're starting slowly and gently this morning. We will work up to some actual work. And then at the end, we will also cool down slowly and gently. So take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, we're going to move into spinal rotations. So turn your torso to the right. You can keep your eyes closed if you like. And as you exhale, bring your chin down towards your right knee and around to the front. And then bring your chin over to the left as you inhale and come up. So you're exhaling down and around. You're inhaling up and back. And let's do this 2 more times in this direction. And when you find yourself up in neutral again, pause. Feel your sitting bones again. And then turn to the left. And as you exhale, come down towards your left knee, towards the front. Inhale up on the right. You come back. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. We usually do this 6 to 8 times. I don't usually count. So if you like to count, you may find that we're only doing it 5 or 7 or maybe 9. It's all right. Life is not neat. Life is kind of messy. Now let's go this way 2 more times. It's good for us just to accept that, you know, we can't always plan, we can't always predict. We just go with the flow. Next time you come up to neutral, again, settle on your sitting bones. Just take a breath or 2 here. And next we're gonna combine our side stretch and our spinal twist, and we're gonna do that with our breath. So it starts out a little bit complicated, but once you get it, you'll be all right. Bring your arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Inhale up and touch your fingertips. Exhale, leave your left arm up as you bring your right arm down and stretch to the side. And then inhale, raise your right arm up. touch your fingertips. Exhale, stretch to the left. Right arm stays up. Now we're going to move into a twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, both arms come down and we turn to the right. Then inhale, back up and touch your fingertips. Exhale, twist to the left, both arms down. So that's our sequence. We're going to do that 4 more times. Inhale, up and touch your fingertips. And now it's a side stretch, left arm up. Inhale, up. Exhale, right arm up. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist to the left. So now we have 3 more times. Breathing in and out in your side stretch. Again, exhale to the left. Exhale, twist to the right. And if I'm moving too fast or this pace doesn't work for you, just slow it down, make it work for you. We're back to a side stretch. And a spinal twist. Now we're going to hold these poses. So inhale up, touch your fingertips. When you do your side stretch to the right this time, stay there. Your left arm is up and you're stretching out your left side. One more breath. And then inhale up and touch your fingertips. And exhale to the left. And hold. So 4 or 5 breaths. And we're going to move into a twist on the right side. So inhale up and touch your fingertips. Exhale, turn to the right. Bring your right hand down behind you, left hand to your right thigh, and you're twisting from the waist. And you can keep your head in neutral or slowly turn your head to the right. One more breath. And again, let's turn our palms so they face up. Come back to center, raise our arms, touch our fingertips, and twist to the left. And find your breath again. It's the nice, easy, gentle way to warm up your back, warm up your spine, your chest, your ribs, your shoulders. One more breath. And one more time. Turn your palms so they face up. Inhale up. This time bring your palms together. And then exhale. Palms come down to your heart and relax your shoulders. Take a breath or 2. And now we're going to do a brief forward fold here, but we're going to straighten our legs out. So go ahead and stretch your legs out. You can also use your strap for this if you like. Actually, let's go ahead and use our straps. If you don't need the strap, if you don't want to use a strap, that's also okay. I like to fold my strap in half. Easier to manage. And then wrap it around the bottoms of your feet. Pull your feet back towards your shins. Sit up tall and press your shoulder blades down your back. So you're holding your belly in. You've got nice, strong posture here. You are putting a little effort into pulling on this strap. Breathe into it. Right now, we're just starting to stretch out the backs of our legs. We've engaged our core. Shoulders are working. And then bring the strap together into one hand. It doesn't matter which. You've created a V shape with the strap. And then start to walk your hands down the strap, keeping your back flat. So you won't be able to come down too far. And now you feel this in your hips, your low back. Maybe you feel it a little more deeply in the backs of your legs. Breathe into it. We won't stay here too long. Just a few breaths. And then when you're ready, start to walk your hands back towards your body. Release the strap. Release your legs. And rub your legs or pat your legs, just up and down, get the blood flowing into your legs. We're going to come on to hands and knees next. So if you like having a blanket underneath your knees, go ahead and find your blanket. That's very helpful if you have knee issues or you're on a hard floor. You want to protect your knees anytime you can. And then once you get settled on your hands and knees, check your alignment. So your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, and your fingers are spread wide. So you feel the four corners of your palms. And then we're just going to move our hips side to side. Just go at your own pace, moving your hips side to side. This is called wag your tail. One more time to each side. And then come on back to neutral. And when we're in this position here, all fours, if you get tired, you need a break for your wrists, you can come back into child's pose anytime, or you can come to hero pose, sitting on your heels and rotating your wrists. So take a break anytime you need to. You won't stay here too long. All right. So now we're going to do our cats and cows. So again, align yourself. Make sure you've got a nice foundation here for your body. And then tuck your tailbone and round your back into cat pose. Let your head drop down. Just imagine a cat when they get scared or angry, or they're just doing that kitty cat thing where they round their backs up. Now we're going to move into cow pose. Start the movement at your tailbone. Start to bring your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And as you do, your belly will drop down. And then at the very end, lift your chest and lift your head. You don't want to hyperextend your neck. Your neck is still in neutral. You're feeling the effort in the middle of your back. And now 5 times, let's flow with our breath. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, tuck your tailbone and round your back into cat pose. Inhale, lift your tailbone, drop your belly. Exhale into cow pose. Inhale. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale, cow. 3 more times. Do your next cow pose. Bring yourself back to neutral, bring your spine into neutral, and then go ahead and rest either in child's pose or hero pose. And either way, make some circles with your wrists. Sometimes your wrists will hurt once you come onto your hands and knees, but usually they sort of adjust if you remember to rotate your wrists in between all these poses. And then shake your hands out, that gets the blood flowing again. And then we're going to come down onto our forearms, onto our bellies. Go ahead and stretch yourself out onto your forearms, bring your palms together. And then just move side to side so you feel comfortable, so that you can let the tops of your feet rest on the floor with your toes pointed. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders, your palms are together. And we're just going to rest here. Notice how this feels on your back. If you feel this in your low back, you've lifted up too high. So relax down. You want to feel this mostly in your upper back. And now we're going to relax just for like 3 breaths, 2 or 3 breaths. Walk your elbows out to the sides. Let your head come down. And just take a few breaths. And then we're going to come back up onto our forearms. Same position. And this time we're going to bend the right knee. So bend your right knee and flex your foot. So you're pushing up into your heel. And just pause right there. Feel your leg muscles start to engage. And then release your right leg down, and then we'll do the same thing on the left side. Bend your left knee and flex your left foot. All right, go ahead and release. And again, elbows out to the sides, and let's rest. Relax your back, your legs, your shoulders, your neck. One more breath. All right, and then go ahead and lift up again. We're going to come up into downward facing dog. We're going to take our time getting there. So we want to start by bringing our hands next to our chest, elbows in, toes are curled. Then lift your chest. You're going to come up onto your knees for a minute, and then lift your knees and press back towards down dog. This takes a little practice. But once you learn down dog, once your body gets used to it, you're going to love it. It's one way that we can stretch the whole backs of our bodies. And then one time we're going to come into plank. So shift your weight forward and stop when your body comes parallel to the floor, and hold your belly in. And then we're going to come back to downward facing dog. Press your bottom up, chest towards your thighs, heels towards the floor. And then next, we're going to come up to a forward fold. And the way we're going to get there is to walk our feet towards the center of the mat. Hands towards your feet. Your hands can rest on your thighs, your shins, or the floor. If you're having a hard time getting your hands to the floor, the next time we do this, we're going to use a block. So just make a note of that. You keep your hands on your thighs if you're not able to get your hands to the floor. That's not necessary. What we're doing now is stretching out the backs of our legs and our low backs. And then when you're ready, bend your knees. Sweep your arms out to the sides as you inhale. Come on up. Exhale, palms together and down to your heart. And just pause right there. I'm going to make an adjustment here with my screen. We just pause in mountain pose. You don't need to do anything else right now. All these wires, all this stuff. All right. So we are in mountain pose. Take a couple breaths and really let yourself sigh. Sigh out loud. And then release your arms. Move your wrists. Take a little wider stance. We're making a transition now. So take a wide stance and we're just going to do some arm swings. So swing side to side, tapping your sides and your back. Then reach up and tap your chest. And then reach down and tap your hips, tailbone, lower belly. And then start to slow down. And once you come back to neutral, out the outsides of your hips, down the outsides of your thighs, bend your knees, and then pat around your knees and back up. And then you can pat your belly when you come up. Do that a few more times. Good. One more time. All right. Okay. Let's come back to mountain pose. Let's go ahead and grab our straps. We're going to do a warrior two flow today with our straps. So go ahead and grab your strap. You can do this without the strap. Strap just adds just adds another layer of awareness. So you're going to wrap the strap around your left thumb. Okay, then we come to mountain pose at the top of our mats. And let's just take a minute here and get grounded, relaxing our shoulders. Taking a few breaths. And when you're ready to move again, take a big step back with your right foot. If you're on a yoga mat, you're turning towards the long edge of your mat. Your right foot faces the long edge, your left foot faces the short edge. You've still got the strap. The left knee is bent. And then lift your arms up. Your left arm reaches out. Your right hand is holding on to that strap. So your right elbow is pointing behind you. Sometimes my words have a little hard time coming out. So here we are. This is called bow and arrow. So we're just modifying the bow and arrow pose. Take a few breaths. You might imagine you're getting ready to shoot an arrow. So you've pulled the arrow back and you're pausing right here. You're looking at your target. And then you decide you're gonna shoot that arrow up into the air. So lean back slightly. Elbow points towards the floor. Your left hand points towards the ceiling. And then we come back down so our arms are parallel to the floor. We're still holding the strap. And then bring your hand, your left hand down to your thigh. You still got the strap. Stretch your right arm up and bring your right shoulder back. So this is a modified side angle pose. If this doesn't feel comfortable and you don't want to use that strap, just bring your right hand to your hip. Breathe into it. This is a deep stretch. And then to come out of this, we bring the right arm forward, release the strap, release your shoulder, and your torso back up. Turn your left foot, both feet face the long edge of your mat. Your upper body is relaxed. Take a couple breaths. So we've entered the work phase of our practice today. If you haven't noticed, we're working. Breathe into it. Always come back to your breath. And so that was 3 poses. We're going to do the same thing in the other direction. So now bring the strap to your right thumb. Turn your right foot so it faces the other short end of your mat, and bend your right knee. And you should be lined up, heel to arch, right heel, left arch. Right arm reaches out, left elbow points behind you, and you're back in Warrior 2 or bow and arrow. There are many names for these poses. Once you get here, just find your breath. One more breath. And again, lean back as if you're shooting the arrow up into the sky. Breathe into it. It's a deep stretch. You're really working your back, your shoulders, your arms. Breathe into it. One more breath. And then we come back to Warrior 2. Bring your right hand down to your thigh, keeping the strap wrapped around your thumb. And then if you choose to, so your option is to bring your left hand to your hip and lean forward. This is a modified version. If you want a little deeper stretch, take that strap up and then lean forward. One more breath. We're going to release the tension in our left shoulder. So bring that strap, left arm strap down and around, rotating your torso towards the long edge of your mat, turning your right foot, and walk your feet in just a little bit. You're still in a straddle, but you want to be in a more comfortable straddle. We can put the strap down for the moment. We may use it again. So find a comfortable straddle, and then we're going to come into a straddle fold. So this is a good time to have your block. If you're going to use a block, you'd want to stand it up tall, put it right between your feet, right in the middle of your feet. And then inhale up and exhale. Hinge at the hips and come on down. Use that block. Let your hands rest on the block. Let your upper body drop down, no effort in your upper body. And you can change the height of the block if you like. This is considered a resting pose. So hopefully you can feel like you're resting. You're not putting too much effort into this. One more breath. When you're ready to come up, be sure to bend your knees. You can have your hands on your thighs if you like to lift yourself up, or you can inhale, raise your arms up, and then exhale, bring your palms together at your heart. And we're back up in this straddle position. Take a couple breaths. And then start to move your feet in towards each other, heel toe, heel toe. Give your legs a little shake, give your arms a little shake. And we're going to do one balancing pose. We're just going to do tree pose today. So if you like to be near a wall or a piece of furniture for balancing, I'm going to move over towards the table here. And I prefer to come off of my mat, especially when I'm on a carpet. I find it a little more challenging to balance on a carpet. So, you know, make any adjustments you need to make. Have your hand, your left hand on the table or the wall, whatever you're choosing to use. Shift your weight to the left and bring your right knee out to the side. And this is where you want to start, right here, with your toe on the floor, your right knee out to the side, right hand on your hip. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is where you stay today. Try not to look at your screen. Try to look past your screen at the wall or something that's not moving. See if you can slide your foot up to your calf, your right foot up to your calf. And then the balancing starts when you bring your left hand to your hip. So every little step here, we move slowly and mindfully. We're never in a hurry. Some days we wobble and some days we don't. One more breath. Release. Give your legs a little shake. You can turn around if you like. Bring your right hand to the table or the wall. I'm going to stay facing this way. So just adjust it any way you need to. But this time we're shifting to the right and bringing our left knee out to the side. Start here. Feel your foundation. You know that everything is resting on this right foot, but we're also using our core muscles to help support that. It's not just your right foot and your right leg, it's your whole body. Hold your belly in. And then make any adjustments you need to make. If you're looking at your screen like I am, you're probably going to be wobbling a little bit. This is really good to help you with your concentration, with your focus. All right, go ahead and release. Take your legs out, pat your hips, pat your thighs, pat your knees, up and down, pat your back. now we're gonna come back down onto the floor, onto the mat. We're gonna do a little bit from sitting, and then we'll come back down onto our backs. So you will need your strap and your block for the cool down. So we'll start in a cross-legged position like we were in a little while ago. Your sitting bones again. Settle down. Remember how it feels when you're on the beach and you're finally settling into the sand. It's like you're really claiming your space here. And then you can just relax. Take a few breaths. All right, so we're gonna do another spinal twist. We're gonna do it just a little differently than we did before. Stretch your left leg out. It's at a slight angle. Your left foot is flexed and your right foot is inside your left thigh. So you want to be comfortable before you do anything else. So that might mean bringing your leg in. Okay. And now you can use your block for this. Sometimes the block will help. Take it around parallel to your right hip. Okay, because that's where we're twisting. So twist from the waist to the right side. Left hand on your thigh, right hand on the floor or the block. And that's it. This is our twist. And hopefully this twist feels a little different than the first one you did. You've already warmed up. Body has adjusted. You get a little bit deeper here. Before we unwind ourselves, let's turn our heads to the left. So you're looking towards your left foot. And then release your head back to neutral so your chin lines up with your chest. And then unwind yourself. Bring that block with you around to the left. And now we're just going to switch sides. Your right leg comes out. Left foot comes in. Make sure you're still on your sitting bones. You haven't lost your connection. Flex your right foot and twist to the left. Twisting from the waist. We're not leaning down. We're not reaching out. You want this to be a comfortable position. You're feeling the effort here in your waist, maybe in your shoulder, maybe your upper back. And again, before we come out of the twist, let's turn our heads. So turn and look towards your right foot. And then bring your head back to neutral. Unwind yourself. Keep your block nearby. Stretch both legs out. Rub your legs again. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. The block and strap are pretty close. You'll be able to reach them from your back. And we're going to start with the strap. So just hold on to the strap for the moment and do a couple of windshield wipers. Again, same as we did in the beginning. Just feeling your hips and your low back. We just did a nice deep twist. So you want to soothe your nervous system, soothe those muscles. Move side to side, no big deal. And then eventually come back to neutral. Make sure your spine is in neutral. Make sure your back is comfortable. We're going to do a figure 4 pose next. We're going to use the strap. So take the strap and wrap it around the back of your left thigh. Your left foot comes back to the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's as far as you want to go today. That's okay. If you want to come into the full expression of the pose, use the strap to lift your legs up. And it's not about how close you get that right knee. It's about how it feels. You just find the place that feels good. Nice stretch. Breathe into it. You realize I'm talking a lot today. I'm just giving a lot more instructions than I usually do. So you can ignore me if you know all this. It won't hurt my feelings at all. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly release your left foot back to the floor. Uncross your leg. And then take your time setting up for the other side. Bringing the strap around behind your right thigh. Right foot to the floor. Left ankle over your right thigh. And then decide if you want to lift your leg and how far up you want to lift it. Sometimes one side is tighter than the other. And so this is a good opportunity to just pay attention, just to notice. Sometimes we have accidents when we're children and our spines get misaligned. And sometimes we sit funny, or, we have a favorite chair that sinks down on one side. So this is a good time to notice if your body feels a little unbalanced. And that's why we practice yoga, because that's our goal, is to find balance. One goal. Let's take a couple more breaths. You're ready. Release your right foot back to the floor. Uncross your leg. Move the strap off to the side. We're done with the strap. Reposition your spine and just a couple more windshield wipers. Just move side to side again, sort of burying that sensation in your hips, that nice stretch. And now you're soothing all of that tension, all that effort. You come back to neutral. Bring both knees up towards your chest. If you like, you can use your strap for this, or you can hold on to the fronts of your knees or the backs of your thighs and just rock side to side. And then we'll come back to neutral. We'll have one more stretch. With your hands behind your thighs, lift your legs up into the air and flex your feet. So you're pulling your feet back towards your shins. And then point your toes. All right, go ahead and bring your feet back to the floor. And this last position is an option. So you can try it, and if you don't like it, move the block. We're going to use the block for this. It's called supportive bridge pose. So we take the block, slide it underneath your low back, the back of your pelvis. So you don't want to feel it in your spine. You don't want to feel it in that arch in your back. You want to feel it behind your pelvis. You have big bones behind your pelvis. They're going to rest nicely on this block. And just rest there for, I don't know, a minute. So that would be maybe 10 to 12 breaths. Just let your body relax onto that block, taking the pressure off of your low back. Now stay here longer if you like. Keep that block where it is if you like. Or if you like, go ahead and move the block off to the side. Lower your back down onto the mat. And if there's any other stretching you like to do, please feel free to do that now. We still have a good 5 minutes. And you may just be ready to rest, to find your final relaxation. Stretching your legs out, bringing your arms out, as if you have nothing better to do today than rest. Just rest for the next few minutes. You always want to do this at the end. You don't want to leave your yoga practice without resting. This is how your body heals itself and benefits from all that work we just did. While you're resting, I'm going to read from my book on the yamas and niyamas, which are the guidelines for yoga, for living a yogic life. And it's not as unusual as you'd think. These guidelines are similar to the 10 Commandments. And so this guideline that we're talking about now is called asteya, and it means non-stealing. Of course, we're not going to steal from each other. But here's a way that we steal from ourselves. You can just rest, or you can get up and start to move around. In all the ways that we impose an outside image of ourselves onto ourselves, we are stealing from the unfolding of our own uniqueness. All demands and expectations that we place on ourselves steal from our own enthusiasm. All self-sabotage, lack of belief in ourselves, low self-esteem, judgments, criticism, and demands for perfection are forms of self-abuse in which we destroy the very essence of our vitality. We need time to chew and ponder and allow the experiences of life to integrate within us. We need time to rest and to reflect and to contemplate. So just tuck that away. I did send a handout with that same reading in it, if you want to go back and look at it. So just take time to rest. We hear that all the time. We have too much going on. We're all stressed out. So that's what we just did. We took time for ourselves. We took time to love ourselves. So when you're ready, if you're not already up to a sitting position, take your time and come on up. And then rub your hands together. And if you're doing this as a recording, stay where you are, take your time. End your practice when you're ready. Opening our hands out to the sides, inhaling up and exhaling down to your heart. Namaste. Oh, sorry, I need to do this.